Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian again with Brian's Vinyl Records, and this is part 3 of my soundtrack collection. I hope you're enjoying this series. I know I'm having fun showing the soundtracks that I have in my collection. So stick around here. We're starting with the letter I, and I've got all the way to the beginning of the S's, stopping just shy of some of my favorites there, but we'll get there. This first one I'm going to show is a favorite from this past record store day. This was the #1 thing on my list that I really wanted. It was I Know What You Did Last Summer soundtrack. It features Typo Negative, Summer Breeze. It's got just killer stuff on here from The Offspring, Soul Asylum, L7, Toad the Red Sprocket. Just a really, really good soundtrack to a movie that brings back a lot of memories for me. So love it. This is I Know What You Did Last Summer, gatefold, and it comes on beautiful red. So let's kick us off with that. Next up is a classic. This is La Bamba. This movie, I remember seeing this movie as a kid and just falling in love with the song Oh Donna, of all things. And to this day, I'll randomly start singing Oh Donna around the house for just no reason at all, just because it pops in my head and I like it. But just a really good soundtrack here. La Bamba, Come On, Let's Go, Ooh My Head, We Belong Together, gosh, Oh Donna. There's just everything on here is just really good. Summertime Blues is on here, just fantastic. So La Bamba, fun movie, Diamond Lee Phillips, and of course, great soundtrack. Sorry, Lou Diamond Phillips. God, what am I thinking? All right, Moulin Rouge soundtrack. This is another Amazon find that I got for cheap, and couldn't pass it up. Of course, you know, Lady Marmalade is on here. You know, One Day I'll Fly Away. Nicole Kidman does a great job with that. My favorite on here is Your Song, an Elton John song that is sung by Ewan McGregor. Just does an absolutely fantastic job on it, and so this is one we would listen to. One Day I'll Fly Away, Your Song, Lady Marmalade off this album. Come What May, which is a combo of Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor. We would listen to these songs in the car rides a lot, my wife and I, as we were driving long distances. So, and just had to have this on vinyl as well. All right, a classic from the 90s. I remember watching this movie and really enjoying it. I never really listened to the artist before then, but became a big fan of his afterwards. This is Pure Country by George Strait. A really decent movie, I think. I think it's actually not a bad movie at all. George Strait's acting career, you know, off to a good start, and I'm not sure it went anywhere after that, but a classic artist, great country musician, and a phenomenal soundtrack. The hits off here, of course, were I Cross My Heart, which became almost everybody's wedding song after that. But the ones I love on here, Overnight Mail is great. Heartland is absolutely fantastic on here. The King of Broken Hearts is great. Where the Sidewalk Ends is great. Just all around, this is a fantastic country music soundtrack and a great film. So, love it. All right, this is newer to my collection, but is absolutely fantastic. Again, another John Williams score. This is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Just absolutely great movie, and the soundtrack is it's phenomenal. John Williams with the London Symphony Orchestra on here. So good. Highly recommended. Another 80s classic here. This Tom Cruise and Risky Business. Risky Business. I found this with the same guy who sold me the Color of Money soundtrack. Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger's on here. Some Tangerine Dream is on here. Muddy Waters is on here. Jeff Beck is on here. Prince is on here. I mean, how can you go wrong? Phil Collins is on here. Yeah, just absolutely great stuff. Risky Business. Awesome soundtrack. This one I picked up recently. Thought it would be kind of fun. This is Rocky, but this is the score to Rocky. This is Bill Conti, and it's really good. Good motivational, especially that opening song, Gonna Fly Now, the theme to Rocky. That'll get you up and running right there. But real good stuff here, so happy to have that in my collection. RogueOne, a Star Wars story. Inspired by John Williams, but Michael, I don't even know how to say his last name, Giacchino, maybe, I don't know. does a really great job on this soundtrack. I think this is absolutely awesome score. I love listening to this one. The kids like it. It's just well done. Great movie, I think. One of the better of the non-core movies that they've done. And overall, really enjoyed this one. Another staple that everyone should have, Saturday Night Fever, the Bee Gees. You can't beat this. Staying Alive. Oh, just fantastic. Never seen the movie, I'll be honest, but great soundtrack. Highly recommend that. Another super phenomenal soundtrack, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, She's the One soundtrack. A lot of people put this with Tom Petty as an album he released, but I keep it with my soundtracks because it's technically a soundtrack album. But Walls is on here. Gosh, Grew Up Fast. Great song. Just all around one of the top Tom Petty albums that he ever put out. Great soundtrack. This is newer to my collection as well. Really am happy to have this. My kids absolutely love the I'm a Believer by Smash Mouth and All Star by Smash Mouth. Those two covers, they absolutely love those. And just all around great soundtrack. Awesome movie. I can't speak highly enough about Shrek. Just they did a great job with this stuff, but happy to have that album. Another classic from my youth. This is the Singles soundtrack. If you love grunge music, this is a perfect sampling of grunge music right here. Alice in Chains, Paul Westerberg, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Smashing Pumpkins, Chris Cornell. Gosh, just chock full of great stuff. Mudhoney. And of course, the song that I absolutely love on here is going to be Mother Love Bone's Chloe Dancer, Crown of Thorns. Really good stuff. And to close out this installment of my soundtracks, we're going to stop at St. Elmo's Fire. Really good soundtrack. Who doesn't know the classic, the title track, St. Elmo's Fire? Absolutely great stuff. Just real fun. I don't know that I've even seen this movie. I probably should. It's an 80s classic, but awesome soundtrack. Love it. And so I think you know where we go and start next episode. So stay tuned for that. We'll get into some really good stuff as we go through S's and on. So I hope you enjoyed this installment of my soundtrack collection as we went from I to the beginning of our S section here. Join me next time as we continue S and move to the end of the alphabet. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button below and check out the videos I've done in the past. And give me your comments and feedback on this series. Are you enjoying it? Is there something else you are interested in me doing a series on? I have all sorts of stuff I can show. I'm happy to do that. But let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.